A friend of mine called me a few weeks ago. He said he was moving. He told me to bring my car and that he wanted me to use my car to help him move. But he told me he'd give me tons of food and alcohol as a result, that he was having an after-moving party, kind of like a combination moving party and housewarming party, where you could eat tons of food and drink tons of alcohol and then pass out on the floor or a couch or something. My friend's husband is in an insane asylum. I don't think they call them insane asylums. They're more like psychiatric hospitals or something. He had a really good job. He was really smart, but then he just decided to go insane, and this happened very quickly. It's kind of a sad story, but inside this is something that makes you have hope for humanity. They are still married, and she still loves this guy, and she still visits him whenever she can. You always hear stories today of people deciding to hook up and even deciding to get married. But then one party decides to bail out whenever something bad happens. Allegedly, when you get married, people say it's till death do us part, but in reality, modern marriage is more like modern relationships. They only tend to last as long as they are both enjoyable and convenient. It's like modern people have no ability to delay gratification. As soon as these things get uncomfortable, they leave the situation. But even though this guy is totally nuts, his wife still loves him and she still feels this relationship is strong. So inside of this sad story, you can find hope for humanity. My friend flips houses for a living. He's been doing it for a long time, and this guy is pretty good. It's very, very easy for this guy to make tons of money. So much that he pays cash for the houses that he flips. So he's always on the lookout for a house that he might be able to live in. And he was able to find one like that recently. Nice house, nice neighborhood, low crime rate. The only downside was because he was able to get this in a foreclosure, the house was filled with the previous owner's junk. You know, when you move into a house, you like to feel this is yours. That as you move in, your own furniture and pictures and kitchen appliances, you will slowly make this your own. That's hard to do if you first have to get rid of somebody else's junk. There was this witch that decided to become very evil, but in a very creative way. Most people don't understand what it's like to be magic. A lot more people have magical abilities than you would realize. But since there are drawbacks to good magic as well as evil magic, you don't see many people making these magical skills very obvious. If you do good magic, people will tend to take advantage of you. Like if you go to a very poor country and give money to people, you'll suddenly be swarmed by little kids wanting free money. So if you do magic that helps people, you'll suddenly be swarmed by people who want free stuff. On the other hand, if you wanted to do evil magic, it would be just as hard. It's kind of like murdering somebody. Most people don't murder people because they are afraid of getting caught. Most normal people have an internal instinctive restriction to being able to murder people. Anybody could buy a hammer, find somebody walking down a street alone with no cameras, and then bash them in the head. It's very easy to become a serial killer from a technical and mechanical point of view. It's just that very few people are strong enough sociopaths to kill people and act like it's no big deal. Evil witches are no different. They have power to do great harm, but they still have that internal social restriction. Except this one witch. She figured out a technique to perform great evil in a way where it was completely out of her mind. She used magic to create a successful online business, very much like people who can make money by buying and selling on eBay. But she was able to make so much money that she could sell things at a loss. She sold very, very popular things at a loss, things that you probably own. She would buy them for $20 or $30 and then sell them for $5. But before she would sell them, she would put a vicious curse on these items. So whoever got these evil items would slowly see their life disintegrate into chaos and misery. It would happen slowly and painfully. Eventually, whoever had these items would be homeless and destitute. She sold millions of these items to people around the world. She figured out a way to create misery on a widespread global scale, to destroy lives but never ever feel any guilt. Because for this witch, it's out of sight, out of mind. He started clearing out the boxes out of a basement. That's when he heard the voices. He couldn't quite understand the voices. He only knew they meant him harm. The more he heard these voices, the quicker he would go insane. So he changed his mind and decided not to live in that particular foreclosure. He decided to flip it like a regular house. He hired some people to move all the junk out. He went from a high-level engineer to a complete nut job in about a month. It all started with his dreams. This woman would come to him in his dreams. She said that everything you ever want is buried in your backyard. All your desires are there. All your passions are there. All your fantasies are there. He would get home from work and immediately start digging in his backyard. Pretty soon he wouldn't leave. He slept in the dirt, lived in the dirt, and even when his wife would try to drag him inside to take a shower and get something to eat, he would shriek like a mother trying to pull a baby from his toy. Only when the people from the asylum came and injected him with drugs did they finally drag him off. Now he needs to wear special gloves locked onto his hands so he won't try digging through the floor in his room in the asylum. Whenever she visits him, he tells her to watch out for the woman who comes in your dreams. At first, she seems very pleasant and friendly. Then she promises you eternal and unlimited happiness. But that's when you start to go insane. There were about a dozen people who helped this guy move, and he was absolutely correct. He not only catered from a local, very expensive restaurant, but he got a bartender from a local bar to come and work his party. There was tons of food and alcohol. You could drink all you want and eat all you want. This was a fantastic party, and everybody there had a really good time.